Went on my morning walk. I got Trader Joe's. I actually really liked my first liberal class, Native American Film and Media. Really like the teacher. He's really cool. Normally at RISD, I'm not the biggest fan of liberal classes. I kind of just get through them to get through them, but it's nice to look forward to one a little bit for a change. I pierced my ears myself when I was like 15, and then they got really infected because I used real safety pins that I did not clean as earrings. So when I got them professionally pierced, now I only wear fake rhinestone safety pins as earrings so I don't get crazy infections. All blinged out. Dropped off a commission. I just need to do a little bit of homework for tomorrow, which shouldn't take me that long, and then I think I'm all set. In my comfy clothes, wearing lobster shoes. And now I'm on my way to the design center because I need to print out a picture so I can do my pet portrait commission, because I have been taking commissions, trying to do nonstop. I've been on like a 4 commission streak, and I'm realizing I have to do that if I want to pay my bills. So I have my commission here, and I'm just gonna be finishing up the last couple of details on it. It's like pretty much done. I just want to clean it up a bit and really finalize it, but most of the shading is done. I had like a month in high school where all I did was paint pet portraits, and I did that every single day until I got so tired of it that I said I'm never gonna paint a pet portrait for like 6 months. My teacher was funny. Like, he was like, this is our painting sanctuary, like you're not supposed to talk, just focus on painting and you'll learn more doing that. But at the end of the year when we were doing like our review stuff, he was just like, you know, normally I have like a no talking policy, and like you're supposed to just focus and, you know, be in your own painting sanctuary. But after watching you work, I've come to realize some people genuinely do work better when they're chatterboxes and they talk to other people, and that's me, because when I would be painting, I would just be chatting it up to everyone around me. I love talking while painting. Like, I think I'm more productive when I'm like slightly distracted. I think it's just because I'm low-key might have ADHD. I don't know what that is. There's like a crumb. I don't know. People who have ADHD tell me I might also have ADHD, so I don't know. I don't know. Some people really do find it better to just sit and concentrate, but for me, like, I love to multitask when I paint. Like, I'm always listening to a podcast. I'm always talking to someone. I love to call people when I paint. I love to watch YouTube videos, watch movies. Usually I can't watch movies unless I've seen them before. But I've been listening to Crying in H Mart because I love fucking memoirs. Memoirs are my favorite thing to read. I really love Jeanette McCurdy's memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. I really love this podcast called Celebrity Memoir Book Club, where they just go over and read a bunch of different celebrity memoirs and sort of review them and give you the spark notes. And I think it's a really good podcast, and I really enjoy listening to it. Because sometimes I don't want to read the whole book unless I'm like really interested in it, but it's like interesting to hear other people talk about it. Like, they did an episode on Anna Marie Tendler's memoir, which I was curious about, and they did it, so I'm kind of glad I didn't read it, because I'm like, ooh, this does not sound like I would enjoy it. And if you're thinking about getting into painting, but you're like, oh, I'm too behind, people are shocked when I tell them that, like, I'm like, you know, I'm a professional technically, like I'm doing this for my job, but you can really teach yourself how to draw. It's really more about time commitment than anything else. Like, the only reason that I'm good than the average Joe Schmo on the street is that I spend like 10 hours a day. When I'm not drawing on paper, I draw in my head. Junior year has like kind of given me a lot of anxiety about my career. Not like in particular, but it's just that now that I'm 20 and I'm a junior and I'm like, fuck, I graduate next year, and I'm kind of like, this is my last year where I'm like really don't have to think about things. And the fact that I do have to start thinking about things scares me enough to start thinking about them now, which is good. So I'm sort of like I'm sort of treating my career stuff like I am a senior, except for the fact like I'm not applying to jobs yet. But like, you know, I'm trying to build up my portfolio as much as possible, because I didn't focus on that a ton. I didn't focus that, honestly, freshman year, I was just trying to survive, okay? Freshman year, Freshman year was rough. It always is for everyone at RISD. If you've ever gone to RISD and like seen people talk about the workload or whatever, it's bad. It's as bad as everyone says. I tend to paint pretty thin, so right now I'm just trying to like thicken up the places where it looks thin and not on purpose, because like, I don't know, when I like painting thin because I feel like you can get better effects that way, and you can kind of get more range of color, and like the things in the painting just sort of harmonize better, but at the same time you don't want it to look too thin. To me, it just doesn't look as clean. And like, I don't know, I love to work really fast because I think working fast is like in my opinion, my strong suit, because I can get more work done. But also it's just like, I don't like meddling on paint. Like if you meddle for forever on a painting, it just doesn't end up looking good. Like paintings look best when they're like kind of effortless looking. The goal is always to like hint at detail, but not actually put the detail in, and then have your brain fill in the gaps for you, because your brain will do a better job than I can. I, for a long time, had a lot of anxiety about like not finding a personal style. A lot of artists had this really unique personal style, and I just sort of felt like I could do a lot of things, and I wore a lot of our different hats, but like I never felt like I was drawing as myself. Like every time I'd sit down for a new painting, I would just consider it as on its own and not in the context of all my other work. But honestly, if you're worried about that, just like be chill about it, because if you need to find a personal style, it'll happen. And if you don't, then like you don't, you know? Personal style isn't everything. However, I found that like I did end up finding one, I think. And it really just came from like following the joy, following what I found to be interesting to paint and what I had fun making. And that made me make art inspire yourself. If you find something like inspiring, make a piece based off your other piece. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be a series. It can just be like, this was cool, I want to try something with that again. Also, one of the best skills I learned in art is how to bullshit. How to faking details is like the best skill in art. I used to be like a slave to my reference photos, where like if it was in the reference photo I had to draw it. But now I'm like, I just edit them and I can sort of make up what I want and make up what I see there. And like if I don't know how to paint something, I just cover it kind of with like a stylistic interpretation, and then that's how I found my art style, is by like not knowing how to paint something in a reference photo. So I'm just like, okay, if I don't know how to paint this, what if it was like abstracted, and it was like, you know, that part of the piece was like geometric designs, or it was I add something else in, like, you know, just kind of using your artistic skills to like fill the gaps will also like help create a style. Like, what are you bad at? That's also a part of your style. I paint on the background color first, that way like the colors underneath are all nice and harmonious. I just woke up, which means gym time. Yay! I have my Illustrator as designer class later today, which I spent all day working on my like brand design yesterday, and what was in my head translated better on paper than I thought it would. Sweaty. I wore my hair down today like a crazy person, because that's what my sister does, but it makes me feel all feminine and pretty when I'm lifting 200 pounds. Okay, I'm back from class. Class was good. I presented my designs for my made-up surfboard company. That's what the latest project I'm working on, and I had a lot of fun designing that. Tidying up my room a bit, putting my pink cowboy boots I made myself back on my shelf where they belong. Before I came to school, I was like kind of more into the idea of becoming like a corporate artist, or like working in animation or like marketing or something like that. But after being through the RISD ringer, have been pushing me more towards like gallery stuff and fine art, which is crazy, because if I do make it in the gallery and fine art space, that would be awesome, because I can make a good amount of money kind of painting whatever I want. However, the odds of making it, I used to think they were like kind of slim to none, but a lot of my professors are like, no, you can make a good living off of it if you just can build up a client base. It's not as hard as you'd think it would be. So I'm like, that gives me hope. I don't know, art's weird. And also when you're an artist, you kind of don't choose one job, you choose a bunch of different jobs. Like, whenever I'm at a party or, like, something, or I'm talking to an adult, and they're like, what do you want to be? And I'm like, an artist. And they're like, what kind? I'm like, so I want to do medical illustration freelancing, but I also want to do gallery work, but I also want to work as a face painter, but I also want to do children's book, like, and I want to do this type of freelance, or I want to do that type of freelance. Like, I just want to put my fingers in kind of all the pies, which is kind of the smartest thing to do, in my opinion, because, especially in art, because, like, art is not known for being the world's most stable income ever. Should I pet Salty like I'm an evil villain? It does kind of feel very villainish to, like, have the drawings of your stuff and yourself hanging on your wall while you're talking to a camera holding the stuff. Like, it's getting too meta. So we've reached the end of the video. That's why my hair is in this lovely George Washington freedom look. And I just do this to curl my hair sometimes when I sleep. But pretty good week, pretty good weekend. I already started my homework for Wednesday. I just blocked in all the colors and stuff. I hung out a lot with my friends. I like baked cookies. I didn't completely stay inside. I went around a lot and did walks. I think this week was a really good week of, like, really getting into the groove of working and getting back to that kind of rhythm of go, 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 which I'm trying to be in for junior year. I've been, like, kind of procrastinating a lot thus far, so I'm finally in my rhythm. I'm finally in my bag. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed listening to me yap. If you have any questions about RISD or anything like that, I'd be really happy to answer that. I know I kind of watched these when I was looking at colleges and stuff, and I know when I was a kid I was really interested in, like, art school life. So if you have any questions about what it's like to go to art school, I'd be happy to answer them, or just questions about art in general. Okay, bye.